Today on Suncoast View, Sarasota lawmakers are making a preemptive move to make sure recreational marijuana does not come to the Suncoast. We'll discuss.
Summer vacation doesn't mean a break from your workout regime. We'll get tips on how you can fit simple exercises into any suitcase.
And a Suncoast student is heading off to a prestigious jazz program for the summer. We'll learn all about his future, all that and more, right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show. We're having a good time already. It's Friday. Big welcome to Pam McCurdy of McCurdy's Comedy Theater. Always nice to see you.
Thank you for having me back. I love being here. We have a lot going on at McCurdy's in June.
You do. This is a great month. You and Les are celebrating your 30th year in business this month.
That is correct.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We weathered the storm.
Yeah, literally.
Lots of storms.
Yes, lots of storms.
From the old location on North Tamiami Trail.
Holiday Inn Airport Marina, Clark Road, the Big Kitchen, the Tamiami Trail.
Remember wow, great memories.
Downtown. And we're having a big anniversary party, invitation only. June 20th, Wednesday, and we're very excited about that. Of course, we're going to have all the people who have been a part of our success, and we love to be with the Black Diamond Burlesque.
Yes.
The troupe will be there as well, Laura Gale.
Someday I'm going to appear with them. That's my goal.
And Drag Queen Bingo.
Yes.
Have you been to Drag Queen Bingo?
I've been to Drag Queen Bingo. I don't know that I'm ready to appear. Beneva Fruit Bell looks a lot better than I do.
Oh, it's just because you can't find your earrings from your move. That's the only reason.
I still haven't found my earrings in the box somewhere.
Pam, 30 years, I feel like we can take for granted the fact that you all were here. You had Sarasota and the Suncoast as a comedy destination before a lot of other things were here.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we really, started doing celebrity stand-up comics we started right when it was being, it was hot. The stand-up comedy thing, everybody, it was just proliferating. We've had Jeff Foxworthy here. We've had Chris Rock here.
Big names.
Yes, big names.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Sure.
Because you and Les knew everyone from traveling in the comedy circuit, but when you had your location here, who was the first big name that you celebrated and said, it's here?
The first big name, and we could not believe that he did not get the cover or even a lot of press, Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh.
We had him in, at the Holiday Inn Airport Marina. I believe it was 1990.
Okay.
And I want to say probably February of 1990. He had his first You Might Be a Redneck If book. I had a book signing down in the Bradenton Mall, Soda Square Mall.
Right, remember.
And I think we had 10 people. And you're like, you're kidding me, Jeff Foxworthy. But you know what I mean? Everybody starts out somewhere,
And now you have A-list comics coming right off Saturday Night Live. You have award-winning comedians coming in. It's really, congratulations.
And it's great live entertainment.
It is great live entertainment.
There's a great need for that here.
Absolutely. And the need also, we service with our boot camps, which you and your daughter are going to be doing.
My daughter and I are going to be taking that, because it can work in all of your life to be able to be funny wherever you are and sort of break the tension.
The stand-up comedy shows I know are just part, and you have even more programming coming this month. We're very excited. And the Humor Institute, you'll want to check out what's happening at McCurdy'sComedy.com. And we're going to meet this weekend's headliner a little later on in the show. So it's good news, Good Friday. Also good news, we have a new face in the kitchen we're very excited about. Chef Dominic from Overture at Art Ovation Hotel. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
What are we going to be making today?
Today we're going to do our crab top grouper with avocado butter, heirloom tomatoes, and bacon.
Ooh, wow. There's not one part of that that I'm not excited about.
That is art.
Yes. I have to say, for people that aren't aware, Art Ovation Hotel, you just opened a few months ago in downtown Sarasota on Palm. Of all of the new hotels that we have, I think this is the one I've been the most excited about. So we're very excited to learn more about the restaurant and about the hotel in general.
Because is the food artistic too? Do you have to fit in with the theme?
Absolutely. All of our plates, we're culinary artists, right? So all of our plates, you not only have to make them look beautiful and make them outside the box and different from everyone else, but you have to make them taste great, right? So a little bit of challenge on both sides.
And Linda, I spy bread on a skewer in front of Chef, which I can't wait to try. It's Friday, we can do whatever we want.
I spy the white wine Chardonnay.
Oh, Pam, we have a date later on in about 45 minutes.
You'll
I'll
have
meet
me
you
singing.
over there. Well, that's art in itself.
Yes.
All right, well, save a little bit of room, though, because we are celebrating a national day. It is National Donut Day.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
I feel like a little donut right now.
So dessert first. I want to give you, without ruining, I want to tip up a little. If you can tip up the back, I want them to see.
Yeah, without ruining your diet.
Or ruining the decorations here. This comes from 5-0 Donut Company, Christine Nordstrom, over on Ringling. And I know she's doing a killer business today. Every day is National Donut Day there.
Oh, look at these things.
Yes. Amazing flavors. The cake donuts, the dough donuts, the toppings. I see what looks like a s'more donut over there.
And look at this one. It's got a butterfly on top.
That's the most interesting box right there.
Look at this.
So ladies, help yourself. I'm going to go a little classic.
Oh, I'll have one of each.
Look at this.
That is amazing. One of my favorite.
I can't make up my mind.
You can take a couple, Linda. One of my favorite things on Saturdays is you'll see people at the farmers market downtown, and then you'll see them drive over to Ringling and get a box of donuts. So the kale will erase the the donuts.
The bacon on the donut.
That's
oh my God,
amazing.
Caramel bacon.
Beautiful stuff. And again, if you want to check out 5-0 Donut Company, you want to get there early, especially if you're going Saturday.
I'm in heaven up
They
here.
sell out quick. All right,
good.
You two enjoy, and you have a couple minutes. I'll buy you a little bit of time while we check in on our first hot topic. So Sarasota lawmakers are making an early move to ban recreational marijuana use. Sarasota County Commission gave the green light to city officials to draft an amendment prohibiting the growing and selling of marijuana for recreational use. Now, this is in the event that recreational use becomes legalized in the state of Florida. The county's first 2 medical marijuana businesses were already approved earlier in June. The county attorney said that if recreational use becomes legal in the state, there is really no certainty if the county law will hold up. What do you think about this?
I remember when alcohol was banned in counties. In Atlanta, I lived in a county that was dry. I didn't notice lack of people drinking in that county. It just meant you went to another county. So I don't know if that will really stop people from doing what they want to do. And what would it mean to businesses, Pam?
I feel sorry for the comics. No, I'm just kidding.
Give them a lot to laugh about.
Are we fighting the inevitable, do you think? I mean, medical passed this year,
Well, Pam, you said something very interesting earlier. Maybe we're aiming our focus in the wrong direction here about opioids. We aren't fighting the thing that's killing our people.
That's right. Nobody's ever OD'd on smoking marijuana. And I mean, we do have an opioid epidemic. And, we have a mental health epidemic as well. So I don't understand why we are focusing on that. How can you go after somebody in the privacy of their own home, in their backyard? They decide they want to smoke roll up a joint and smoke. I mean...
If it comes across as a state law, and so this is where it gets a little bit dicey because you don't know if the county law will hold up or if the state law will override it as you might expect it would. I know, and this is kind of interesting, in Oregon, they had a surprising economic backlash, whereas a lot of the businesses the marijuana businesses started dropping their prices, and they're just not doing as well as they thought, and it might be an indication that when you make it legal, it's not a big deal.
Well, I've heard, I know medical marijuana really helps a lot of conditions. Yes. But I've heard people say it cures cancer, it cures heart disease, it cures bug bites. Marijuana will cure everything. No, it won't.
Right.
No, it won't.
Right.
Nothing does that. So I think maybe people are over-expecting. We've exaggerated its ability to heal the world, and then people say, well, heck, it didn't do all those things. So maybe people will lose a little bit of interest in it.
It's true, it's true. Well, we'll see. This is going to be an ongoing discussion,
yes,
and we're certainly not, we're not, well, I'll just leave it at that.
Not me.
Well, we have waited more than 30 years to say it, but it is time again to feel the need for speed. That's right. Top Gun is back. Production has started on a sequel to the classic blockbuster film, and Tom Cruise wasted no time in tweeting out his famous look as Maverick, hinting that he'll be making his return. First of all, I can't believe it's been that long since the first film.
I can't either.
But
I mean,
he looks the same.
Yeah, he
That
really
does.
does. Poor Val Kilmer, who was in the first film, does not look quite the same. But
yeah, he sure doesn't.
do we remember what a cultural, phenomenon Top Gun was? I mean, from the aviator sunglasses,
the whole, the outfits and
volleyball, beach volleyball.
Yeah.
It influenced men's swimwear. I mean,
Yes.
this was a big deal.
His attitude. I love that.
I can't wait to see part 2 and see what new brands they bring to the screen and how we'll be, dressing and sunglasses. And
Well, it is time. It's time for the second Top Gun. All right, Thursday night, last night, was the 91st annual Scripps National Spelling Bee. An 8th grader from Texas took home the first place prize by successfully spelling the Greek word koinonia. This year had the largest number of participants ever, 516. So while koinonia was the final word, it sounds like the average American needs to start with some more basic words. Google just released a map that shows the top how to spell word searches by state. 11 states, we're going to look at the numbers here, had trouble spelling beautiful.
wow.
It stumped California and Boston. 6 states, including Georgia, were trying to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I have no idea what
I don't know why. Hard
So
to
let's
use
look
in a
at
sentence.
Florida. Florida was stumped by hors d'oeuvres, and I'll be honest, I don't blame them.
I've looked that up several times,
Me too.
having a menu, and you have to present that word. Yes.
So that's why we say appetizers probably now. My home state of New York looked up how to spell resume. I wasn't sure if they were looking up resume or resume, but I'm guessing it was probably resume,
yes.
same spelling. Iowa got tripped up on vacuum. No doubt it's the 2 U's. Alabama needed help with the word cousin. Spare the jokes.
So I'm not even going to go there. We'll let Dan take that lead.
And Maine needed to know how to spell Connecticut.
Oh, please.
Well, of course they do. They're
Who's
really
our neighbor?
close to Connecticut.
Put your mind on your own state is what I have to
but
say.
look at spell check. I mean, how many times does it get it wrong?
It's true.
So
Yeah.
technology is not helping. It changes the meaning of my messages so many times.
Autocorrect will usually make a fool out of you.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
usually get stumped if it's is it 2 consonants and 2, the combinations like accommodate, words like that, I always have to look up, I'll
Yep.
admit it.
Vacuum.
But you can look them up now. That's the beautiful thing.
Exactly. All right,
Unless you're Les McCurdy, his spelling is so poor that even spell check goes, what are you
they've
asking?
just given up on him. All right, well, it is time for our happy hour forecast. And when we come back, we're going to tell you about a fitness routine to get you in shape for the summer.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. We are looking at generally partly cloudy skies overhead. A few inland storms are possible throughout the afternoon. We still have some moisture coming up from the tropics, but high pressure is nosing in, and that has limited the activity. It looks like we'll see a pretty good weekend ahead, too. As far as the Titan radar picture goes, a few showers are around, as again, mainly inland storms pushing off toward the east. You can see some activity, though, approaching near Northport. And not much, though, right along the area beaches. Things are fairly quiet there and will stay that way as well. Looks like at least for the next couple of hours, some of the showers could start to work back toward the coast once the sea breeze is broken down. Flood warning still in effect for several locations, the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park. We also have Manatee River at the Myakka Head and Horse Creek all under flood warning. That is minor flooding right now going on there. Well, much more coming up today at 5, and be sure to tune in for the Hurricane Special at 7. See you then.
As we all well know, it is summer vacation time. But few things are more damaging to our routines than a vacation away from regular exercising. Well, if you don't want to pack all that gym equipment next to your sunscreen, fitness instructor Chaz from Body by Chaz has some tips for you. So let's take a look.
This is the perfect time, Chaz. We're glad you're here. We can't fit all that equipment into our suitcase when we travel.
Absolutely. All we're going to need today is a band.
That's great. And you know a lot about all types of fitness because you went from a dance background into fitness.
Absolutely. I grew up as a professional ballet dancer, and it kind of logically led me into leading people about how to be fit with their bodies.
That's great. And much like a dancer, you always have to find different ways to stay in shape and
Absolutely.
to stretch and work out. So this is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with these bands. Let's talk a little bit about the band. Where can we find these?
You can find these bands on any retailer. They're at Walmart, Target, but I got mine off Amazon because they came to my house before I pushed my button.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
Amen.
we're gonna put it around our wrist. You want to put your elbows right by your sides and think of keeping your wrists right in front of your elbows. That's going to be your warm-up. I'm going to come back and check you guys. Make sure to think like you're pulling your elbows out and your wrists out. So it feels like you're going to get that burn on the outside and the backs of the shoulders.
I feel it already.
Yes.
Exactly. And then just feel like the shoulders go right to just to the sides of the body. And then keeping that burn right there, just feel it warming up.
I'm warm.
We look common still, but this is actually very difficult.
It's
Burning in the armpit area.
deceiving. It's deceiving. We're going to start Linda. We're all going to do this together. We're just going to punch forward and think of keeping those elbows wide enough to slide right past your waistline where they started. So push it forward and pull it back.
I'm
You can
assuming
even-
It's cheating if you bring your hands together out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You want to keep them right in
So
front
this
of those
must
wrists.
be triceps because that's where I'm burning.
Well, biceps, triceps is going to
Okay.
get all in there. Fronts of the shoulders and then backs of the shoulders. So we're going to have Linda keep going with that. And Stephanie, you're going to add on and take a bicep curl. So
Okay.
take it out, squeeze those biceps, keep it wide, take it out again, triceps, and pull it back
It's
right by your
amazing what it
sides.
can do without any weight.
Yeah,
Exactly. And it folds up in your suitcase so it doesn't make your suitcase heavy on your way to
Yeah.
Italy.
exactly.
Oh, are we going to Italy?
Yeah, we're going to Italy today.
I didn't know that.
Plane with you to Italy.
Exactly. You can work out on the plane.
I do like this because I will say that whenever I think I'm making good results in my fitness and then I go on vacation, I feel like I lose any momentum. But I
exactly.
don't want to, I don't want to, obviously can't pack dumbbells in
Absolutely.
my...
Right.
It's one of the hardest things there. And then Stephanie, you're going to keep going with that. We're going to add on with
sure.
Joey. He's going to get his legs going.
Yeah.
So on your next punch forward, step into a lunge. Now add your bicep, tricep, push off that front leg and come back row.
Oh, yeah.
Do it with the other leg.
Body.
Good.
I'm going to join you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Take it forward. Feel that contraction. Keep the wrist out a little bit wider and you're going to feel the burn in the backs of those shoulders.
Yeah.
Looks
delt.
good.
Aren't they
That's
good?
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Let's do a couple more here. You guys keep going too. You don't want to miss out on that burn.
Oh, no, I got the burn.
No, don't want to miss that.
You know what's
Sure,
nice?
I'll go look in the bathing suit after this.
You know what is nice about this too, Chaz, is that we're talking about working out when you travel, but this is also a nice option for people that maybe a gym membership is not in their budget.
Absolutely.
But
You're
you can
getting a set
certainly
of
buy
these bands for under $10.
And what are the bands called when we look for them? Is there are they fitness
They're
bands?
resistance loop bands or mini bands. They have a couple different names because they fall in the crack between a lot of other things.
Well, and in fitness training too, I think a lot of people start to feel pressure on the joints, and this is
It's amazing.
very low pressure.
Forces you to work in both
Linda,
directions.
how are you?
Yeah.
I'm great.
All right, we're going to keep
I'm in
Joey
pain.
going, and we're going to add on with Kelly. Kelly got the hard one.
Okay.
So we're going to go
Thank God you're here,
forward.
Kelly.
She's going to push into a forward balance. Then add her bicep row, her out, and then pull
Oh,
it
you
back.
wanted me to go this way.
Yep, bicep, and then
Okay,
pull it
got
back,
it.
and then come back to her balance.
Wow.
Right there. And she's going to push right
Nice
back
to
into the
watch.
other leg.
So did I.
I'm just staring.
Just watch how amazing
her
her
do it.
back muscles are so engaged that she's right on balance, and she pulls it all back in sync.
And so what is Kelly working with that move?
With that, everything. There really isn't a thing that's not, because her abs are holding her on balance, her legs, her glutes.
How long do we have to do this and how often?
Yeah.
How often? It could even turn into a wake up. You
Oh,
wake
like
up every
every
morning,
morning.
do it for a few minutes, and
How
then
many
you've
reps
got.
do you recommend?
I do time. I
Time.
love the music, a good song.
Okay.
So
You
I
could
could
song
do
will power
like
you
one
through
a
it.
minute.
So how those shoulders feel? Let's go back to our warm-up place with the elbows by our sides. Press
yeah.
out one more time, and now we're just going to finish with little presses out. And think in the back, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. We're just going to finish this move off, and then we're going to take a nice deep stretch.
It's funny because, and I'm not pausing just to not work out for a second, but it is funny that this band probably looks like it's nothing, but this is, I'm using all
It
of
is
my
almost
might,
everything
and I
you've
can't
got.
get it
And
past
these are
this.
different resistance by color, right?
Each one
Joey's
is.
is
And
tighter.
Say
Some of
that.
them
You
even
have to
say
say
what
that.
on there, light, medium, heavy.
Okay.
These guys got the heavy ones. There's
have
even
a light
one more
one.
heavier. So it's a wonderful way to increase
what a
your
good
strength
set.
too.
Yeah.
So let's go and take these off. We're done with them. Woo, workout's done. Give yourself a hug.
Okay.
Oh, it feels so good after that. The shoulders get to come forward and out of that deep stretch that work where we were. And if you want, you can round down a little bit and allow it to go a little bit deeper. and then roll up. We're going to open the arms up, take the arms behind, and open up the chest.
OMG.
Big stretch.
Chaz, speaking of stretching, if someone is doing this, obviously, I'm not someone that I trust to work out alone because I don't always, I need supervision. Right. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of stretching before you do something like a resistance band.
Well, absolutely. You need to feel a little bit loose. If you're working, if you feel bound, or if you woke up in the morning, you woke up literally and your thing is to wake up, turn around, roll out of bed and work out, I would go ahead and maybe just walk around the house a little bit, get your arms moving. Don't think about work for your warm-up as much as just flow.
Okay.
Loosen things up first, because then when you get heated muscles, that will warm you up. Then when you build into it, it'll go a little bit deeper. And so about 5 minutes, and we all got a little bit sweaty.
Yes.
Yeah, and can feel it. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and you'll feel it throughout the day. So if you want to do a little bit of preemptive strike stretching, I like to call it, so you're not wrecked the next day and you can work out again.
I like these things.
Chaz, these are great tips. I'm still hugging myself because I feel like I did such a great job. These are great tips. You can find out more about Chaz's fitness training by visiting his website, bodybychaz.com.
Great tips from Chaz.
Yes.
All we've got to do is do them now. And next we're going to meet this weekend's McCurdy's comedy headliner.
Woohoo!
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Our next guest is U.S. Army veteran who found his way to stand-up comedy, and he was also the winner of Florida's Funniest Comedy Competition. Mr. Ken Miller.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hey.
I hear Les voted for you.
Yeah, like he had no choice.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the spelling segment with Alabama and cousins.
I know,
That's,
come on.
Come on, man, that's hilarious. Because my wife makes fun of me because I'll post something on Facebook and she'll call me and say, that's not right, and that's not right, and you need to change that. Because there is what messes me up. Which the right time to use there, like the ER or the EI So I mess it up all the time. Sometimes I just put THUR. So now it just fits for everything.
You mentioned your wife. So how long have you been married?
I just got married. Man. I got
yeah.
my ball and
Look at
chain
that
shirt on.
shirt.
Yeah, I just got married.
Linda had issue
that.
with
Look
that.
At that. The lady is smiling, the man is frowning. It ought to be
that's
the other way
what marriage
around.
all about. Being sad, man.
He is lucky to get
I'm telling
her.
you, no, it's not the same. I keep telling people, it's changed from when we were dating to like husband wife, because she doesn't care about my well-being since I put her on my life insurance. Look. Since I put my wife on my life insurance, no, like, I fell down the steps the other day. Like, I felt like I did a full print split on my steps. It sounded like somebody threw a microwave down the stairs. It was so loud. So I screamed to my wife. Her name is LaShawn. I call her Shawn. I say, Shawn. And she was like, what? I says, baby, I fell down the steps. No lie. She said, okay. Until she went to get a cup of coffee and realized I was really laying on the steps hurt, she didn't believe me, you know. So I keep telling people, when you get married and you put them on your life insurance, the love changes for that $750,000 that they could be getting if I died.
Do you talk a lot about your marriage in your comedy acts?
I'm adding it to it now because I just got married, but before I always talked about I'm a father of 2.5 kids.
What?
2.5 kids. I'm number 8 of 11 children.
Wow.
Yeah, I talk about being in the military, but I'm starting now to add my wife to a lot of my stuff. She's on my Twitter. I tweet about her all the time.
Oh, I bet she loves that.
Yeah, what does she say about that when you get home?
She loves it. She just loves the attention. She loves the attention.
Kind of like Trump.
Yeah. My wife went to Clark, Atlanta, and she was Miss AUC, so she's like, I married a beauty queen. And so she loves me talking about it. Like, I just signed up for school myself. Like, I'm using the Army GI Bill finally to go to school.
Oh, nice.
Good
And
for you.
I had to take the assessment test. And she was like, I'll take it for you. And I was like, no, you went to college. I don't want to take trigonometry. I want to take mathematics unlimited.
Photography.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I want to take intro to psychology. Like, I want to take stuff like that, like basket making. I'm not trying to take, like, and then I ended up taking the assessment test and I aced it.
Really?
So now I got to take trigonometry.
So you're smarter than you thought you were.
I know.
She's not just smiling, she's laughing.
Yeah.
She's very happy.
And probably at him.
And she's holding the poison, too.
You can laugh at Ken and with Ken at McCurdy's this weekend through June 3rd. For tickets and showtimes, visit mccurdy'scomedy.com. Coming up next, we'll learn what local business owners are doing to help create jobs for Suncoast graduates.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Welcome back to Suncoast Review. We're going to check back in the kitchen with Chef Dominic from Art Ovation Hotel. And Chef, I know Overture is the restaurant in Art Ovation, but let's talk a little bit. We've been very excited about the hotel opening. What's the general theme of the location?
Well, our intent was to be the first signature hotel fully enveloped in the arts. We have a residential artist in the lobby. We have a working arts studio, live musicians in the lobby, entertainers, instruments for loan. Lots of fun things happening. We do a daily art tour. It's well worth coming out and checking it out. It's more than just a hotel or a restaurant experience, but an overall cultural experience.
And perfectly situated between Florida Studio Theater and the Opera House, and so it's all right there. And we're going to be joining you a little bit later on to learn how to make one of the signature dishes from the restaurant. So we can't wait to see you a little later on in the show.
Thank you.
Well, as graduation ceremonies wrap up on the Suncoast, many local high school and college graduates are leaving the area in search of careers. Well, meanwhile, local CEOs are struggling to fill open positions in their growing companies. Luckily, there are new efforts to connect these two groups. Pete Peterson, CEO of Dealers United, and Anand Palagar, founder of At Large Incorporated, are both part of the initiative. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you
for having us.
And thank you for doing this. We want to keep our kids here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, just to give a little bit of background for our viewers, you both head up growing companies right here on the Suncoast. Pete, let's start with you. Tell us just a little bit about Dealers United.
Yeah, so Dealers United helps about 6,500 auto dealers in the U.S. and Canada. We really specialize in the digital marketing aspect of those auto dealers, and our biggest claim to fame over the past year is our partnership with Facebook. We've become one of the largest, fastest growing partnerships on Facebook's platform, helping auto dealers migrate their traditional media to digital.
Wow, that's fantastic. And right here in downtown Sarasota. And Anand, At Large is home in the Rosemary District.
We are indeed.
Tell us a little about what you all do.
So we're essentially a digital marketing firm as well, and what we effectively do is connect brands to consumers. We do that by building social campaigns, mobile apps, website apps, commerce platforms, and things like that. And we have a pretty robust local clientele, from Sun Hydraulics to IMG to Feld Entertainment, and run quite a wide array of different services through the region.
And what I see both companies have is that you are working in a field that is constantly growing, and that a lot of people don't often think of the Suncoast being a part of all of that digital growth. So what do you think is the issue? Why do you think we're having a hard time keeping graduates here?
For me, I think a lot of it's literally perception at this point. I think we need to expose our students more to all the amazing companies that are here, and the companies to the students as well. And so we're creating a lot of initiatives, including things like BIG, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, that's connecting students to the CEOs of the local businesses. And then the whole goal is you got to get outside your four walls, right? You've got to get the students outside of the campus and into the actual the job market, and so that comes through internships, and we've got a lot of new innovation happening around that. And that also comes from programs where where our CEOs are teaching inside these actual classrooms as well. So when we connect those two communities together, we can bridge that gap and we can keep our students here.
And they'll be able to make as much here as they would if they went to Atlanta or New York or someplace. That was my daughter's question.
So everything's relative.
When she graduated.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, can I make enough money to stay here?
Absolutely.
We need to grow it to that point so they can.
Yep. And I think we're there. And I think, I think one of the challenges you have in this market is where you stand is what you see, right? I'm a big believer in that. So as a student, you come here, go to college, you might put blinders on to the business world. And it's not till you are about to graduate that you start to look for a job, and it can be almost overwhelming. But I think what you're starting to see is, as we'll talk about with BIG, that interrelationship between the graduating student class, catching them earlier in the process and giving them an opportunity to engage with companies in the region is how those roles of tomorrow are going to get fostered here. And I think from a salary standpoint, when you look at cost-adjusted base of living, I think we're there as a market, you know, in certain industries and certain career types. But again, in every market, even Atlanta, there are high-paying jobs and there are low-paying jobs.
Oh, absolutely,
you know?
yes.
And quality of life, I think, factors into that
in
as
a
well.
huge way.
So you've mentioned big, that it's bright ideas on the Gulf Coast,
Yep.
and that kind of feeds into this next part. What skills were you finding were lacking in, you know, in the outcoming graduates?
So just a backstory on Big. Big was actually started by Dean Eisner. He's the chair of the co-chair of Big today. But what he realized was that 90% of graduates were leaving the region looking for these jobs. Your daughter kind of sounds like she was in that dilemma too.
90 is huge.
And so what he decided to do was he approached Gulf Coast Community Foundation and they created Big. And Big was essentially a mechanism to try and retain and educate students on the opportunities that exist here in our backyard. So it's really a conduit connecting businesses with students. To answer your question about the talent gap or the pieces that are missing, a couple of different initiatives that we've done. Pete and I have worked together on, one of which is to bring new types of learning to the student body. I'll let Pete talk about that.
Yeah, so one of the things that was interesting, a few years back, we were working on a project together at my last company. I was with a company called Lexjet and S1 here in town. And as I was working with them, I realized they were actually in USF Tampa, and they were teaching up there some classes. And I said, well, why aren't we doing that here in our backyard? And at that point, USF Sarasota Manatee was not a four-year school, and their curriculum was changing. And so there was a unique opportunity and some shifting in the way that the universities are receiving funding, align the businesses a lot more with the student curriculum. So we had an opportunity to work with the dean over there at the College of Business and actually take the program that was kind of created up in the Tampa market and bring it local here. So we brought local companies, local CEOs, and there's about 5 of us that all work together, and we created a digital marketing class at University of South Florida to create the skills needed to actually understand what digital marketing was, take it from beyond a general marketing class and get it to the digital focus that's on there, so that we can start giving them a little bit more skill set and basically training them before they enter our business about the skills they need.
And that almost like plants the seed right before they've even graduated that, oh, there's someone right here.
Absolutely.
You also, I know, have had ongoing events, and Pam, you've been a part of it.
Yes.
Tell us quickly about the events that are part of the initiative.
I know that we spearheaded the first one at McCurdy's Comedy Theater, and I loved the forum and how it was represented, getting the kids there, the graduates, and getting them to meet in an informal, very, you know, hands-on, one-on-one with all the CEOs. Because that's a very, you know, intimidating experience when you're trying to go out for a job interview, haven't been there quite yet, you've been in a classroom in that kind of environment. So I thought
so you're literally putting them in the same space.
Yes.
And from McCurdy's, it's grown. You recently just had one at Moat, and these have continued.
Yes.
So this is a way people can get in the same.
And really, the intent here is to introduce the students early in their educational track to the companies that are in our backyard, because the sooner you can inspire them and show them that this is what real life looks like in Sarasota, the more affinity they're going to have, so that when they graduate, they're not looking to major markets to find jobs. They already have a relationship. They've met Pete, they've met other CEOs, they've met Pam, and so they have a connection to go approach them and say, hey, what kind of roles do you have? Or they might have actually got a flavor for it through an internship.
Oh, that would be so great.
Yeah.
When I graduated from college, I thought, what do I want to do now? I was not at all prepared.
Sure, and you may not know, but at least you can know what is out there and what is possible.
Yeah. And why we chose to be here in Sarasota, what our story is.
This is a great initiative. If you would like more information about it, we're just barely scratching the surface of all of the great programs as part of Big Bright Ideas on the Gulf Coast. You can go to the website, gulfcoastceoforum.com/big, B-I-G. Get more information. Find out how you can get involved. Coming up next, a Suncoast jazz student tells us about a big honor for summer break.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly one in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. After some chaos during Hurricane Irma, Sarasota County is urging residents to sign up for its medical needs program. Plus, how a Venice nonprofit is preparing to help the community after a disaster. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob.
Well, things are looking brighter for the weekend as we head into it. High pressure will continue to nose its way in from the Atlantic, and as far as storms go, we don't have much around. There's a few isolated cells, especially in South Sarasota County right now, but that line of moisture that's been moving up from the tropics is starting to thin out a bit. Still around, though, some inland storms, as expected and anticipated today, have been blowing up, especially into eastern portions of Sarasota County. You see the general motion is off to the south and east, building, though, to the northeast. Well, much more on that, and, of course, our special coming up at 7. See you then.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Summer break means summer vacations, but not all of us are soaking up the sun this summer. One Suncoast student is about to make a big splash in the music scene. Let's take a look.
Many college students are making their plans for summer jobs and internships, but not all students will have a summer quite like State College of Florida music student Luca Stein. He's a trumpet player heading to New York with scholarships to study with a renowned jazz great. And we can't wait to hear about your plans, Luca. So tell me what you're doing this summer.
This summer I have an amazing opportunity I'm going to New York at Bard College, and I'll be studying under the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra.
Ooh.
It's the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra's Summer Jazz Academy, and you go through an application process, and I was accepted, and we play side by side with the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra.
Wow. Oh, that is wonderful. How did this come about? How do you get something like that?
Right. Well, a lot of people have told me about all of these amazing opportunities, and I was like, I'll see what happens. I'll audition. And so I sent in an application and an audition, and they notified me of my acceptance.
Well, good for you for putting yourself out there. That's wonderful. Now, tell us about some of the big names that are there, because I know I recognized one of the trumpet names of people you'll be working with.
Well, the director of the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra is Wynton Marsalis.
Wow.
So I'll hopefully be able to study with him and see him.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Oh, now you're going to Rhode Island, too.
I am. That's another, it's the day after, so I have to fly right there. That is another one you apply for and see what happens. And it's Berkeley's Global Jazz Institute at the Newport Jazz Festival.
Okay. That is awesome. Yeah. So how does State College of Florida, their music program, help you get to this length?
Right. Well, this is my first year at State College of Florida, and I'm actually a high school student. So I was looking for amazing jazz bands to play around, and I found the State College of Florida, and I played for the instructor, and he gave me a spot in the band.
So he liked you.
Exactly. And now he's my teacher, and he's taught me everything I need to know about what I can play over certain things. Before I went there, I wasn't sure as much, and now I totally know what I'm doing, so it's great.
What are your goals? What ultimately do you want to do? You're doing pretty great right now. How can you go from here?
Well, in the future, I plan to get my undergrad, and then I want my master's from a conservatory in New York City, and then I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to immerse myself in the scene and try to make it in New York City.
And you play more than just the trumpet. That's what I was floored by. Tell us about your other instrument.
Well, I'm also a violinist. I started as a violinist. I've been a classical violinist my whole life, and I believe that's a very great, strong foundation for jazz, because a lot of jazz players don't get the strong foundation of
classical music.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're a very accomplished violinist, not just a violinist. I mean, high-level violinist. What was it like? I mean, a stringed instrument's very different, you know, than a mouth instrument. How did you decide to make that transition?
Well, my dad's a trumpet player.
Okay, so you were around it.
So I had it, and I was like, this is kind of cool, and
he's got to be happy.
I was going to say, he's so happy.
I want to hear you play. Would you play trumpet for us?
Yes, I will.
Okay, while you go
Thank
over,
you
let
very
me
much.
tell everybody, you can get more information about the State College of Florida music program by going to their website. And Luca is going to be accompanied by State College of Florida jazz instructor, Dr. Pete Carney, who's the one that's influenced him so much. Take it away, guys. Get more information about the State College of Florida music program by going to their website.
Oh, so great to support local talent. And the Bard Summer Jazz Academy that Luca is attending, it begins its summer program on July 16th. So we're very excited for him. All right, we're also excited for us because we are one step closer to the kitchen with Art Ovation. We'll be right back.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather, we're here for you.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, As a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes. Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life. Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Well, don't mind us. We're having a little bit of fun with fabric. The Players Center of Sarasota is having a fabric sale, and we picked up a few things.
I know. I'm thinking if we got a little bit of the glitz on this, I'd have your top, Linda.
Oh, look, where do you think I got it?
So Linda is having fun with some of the glitzier things, and Pam is really taking her look today to a whole new level. You may have missed part of the sale was today, Friday from 10 to 4, but you can also catch them Saturday, June 2nd. For more information, go to theplayers.org. Stop in, pick up some fabric. Everything must go.
Getting ready for the Belmont.
All right, we must go to the kitchen. We're heading into Art Ovation Hotel's Overture Restaurant.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. A desperate need for affordable housing in Sarasota. A look at a new project that could soon break ground. Taking a quick look at First Alert traffic, right now we are seeing some major backups over the DeSoto Bridge. Both the north and southbound lanes are slow going at this hour. Well, let's get a check on our First Alert weather forecast with Bob.
2 days in a row. Will it last through the weekend? We'll have that forecast for you right now. A few showers. Great weather is today. A lot of sunshine, good beach weather. You can see some showers inland areas along eastern portions of Manatee County. Also a few spotty showers into Highlands County, also into southeast DeSoto. They're all kind of drifting to the southeast. Your Saturday planner, well, here it is. Looks pretty good. There's a few clouds around. Temperatures will warm into the mid 80s right near the beaches. We'll see upper 80s east of I-75. We are anticipating Sunday to be just pretty much the same. Details on that coming up today at 5. See you then.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Coming up Monday at 4 on Suncoast View, Suncoast bugs don't have to be a pest this season. We'll learn from an expert how to beat mosquitoes and love bugs as summer heats up. The first 1,000 days of a child's life are crucial to brain development and their future. We'll learn how a Suncoast Foundation plans to help. Our beauty expert has great gifts to pamper yourself, and Libby's Cafe and Bar joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef Dominic from Overture at Art Ovation Hotel. And Dominic, how are we going to get this party started? What are we making?
All right, so today we're going to do a seared grouper over Boursin grits with jumbo lump crab meat, bacon, heirloom tomato, and a little avocado butter to finish it. Whoa. So kind of an old spin of shrimp and grits, but we're doing it with a little bit of grouper. So first we're going to start with the avocado butter. Okay. So we're basically, it's a ½ pound of butter versus 2 avocados. We're going to give it a squeeze of lemon juice in there, a little salt and pepper. We're going to mash it together so the avocado is still a tad bit coarse, which we have here, which will help when we make that sauce. So it'll be kind of green, a little bit, you know, kind of a lumpy, and have some of the chunks there. So
I'm doing good over here.
She's doing great. She's killing it.
Mike, can I put mine in?
Yep. So Pam is working on the grits?
On the grits.
So we do about a cup of stone ground grits. We're going to add about a cup of heavy cream. You can use half and half or milk. And then about a cup of stock or water. Depends on how heart healthy you really want to make it. We're going all in. There's about a tablespoon of butter in there. So we're going to put this onto the heat. We'll put it up here to start cooking, and it takes about 5 minutes or so. You're going to have to continuously stir it to keep it from sticking or burning on the bottom.
That's a good trick for grits.
And then we are going to turn down the heat on it, and as it gets to where we need it consistency-wise, we're going to add in, I'll let you add a cup of shredded cheddar into it, and then we're going to add a whole wheel of Boursin cheese.
Wow.
So again, nice and creamy and rich.
Yeah.
So that'll all get mixed together and cooked down. And then from there, we will start our grouper. Okay. So since it has bacon, I like to use a little bit of bacon fat in the preparation. Of course.
I like the way you think.
I like the way you just said, so it has
This is a little bit of olive oil. Right here's the bacon fat.
Oh, yeah, there is a difference.
You can tell it got a little congealed in here.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in with some bacon fat.
We'll heat that up.
We're going to heat that up real nice. And then we're going to take our piece of grouper, and we have red grouper today. The black grouper is my favorite. This is very comparable from the Gulf.
Do they taste different?
Yeah, the red and the black.
The black's a little bit sweeter in my opinion, and a little bit more halibut-like, but yeah, I will use it when it's available, but right now we settle for the red grouper.
Wow, I think we'll be fine.
There were more red grouper out there today.
That's right. All right, well, I managed to shut this off. Let me get it back going here real quick.
There we go.
All right, so we're gonna get that pan going.
And Chef, as you're starting to prep the fish, obviously this is on your dinner menu, but you have breakfast, lunch, everything?
We do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as serving hors d'oeuvres in Overture lobby lounge in the lobby. And then we also have Perspective Rooftop, which is also our bar. And up there, our food concept's a little bit different. We do it's a shared experience.
Okay.
So we do bento boxes, kind of off the wall, far end kind of appetizers. We have some boxes that contain fried cauliflower Manchurian, blistered shishitos, fried paneer cheese with curry masala, things like that. So it's not just your traditional bar food of chicken wings. So
and that rooftop bar is open to the public.
It is.
Oh, it's fun up
after
there.
5 p.m. Live
times,
music on the weekends, DJs.
Wonderful. All right, so back to the grouper.
All right, so into the pan we're going to go with the grouper.
And You got your wine over there.
And we got our wine going there. So as this is going to saute away here, we're going to get our sauce going. Make sure the pan's nice and hot, which it is. So again, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to add a little bit more bacon fat. Okay.
I like the way you cheat. Yes.
Here's the bacon fat.
Here's the bacon fat.
I'll pass Linda over.
Let me borrow this,
You
Linda.
shouldn't have.
So as it gets a nice sear on it, is it there? We're going to go right into the oven with it.
And a chef who always comes prepared, you do have one in the oven for us.
I have one ready to go.
Great.
So with this, we're going to then, okay, once this gets warm,
You're going to start that sauce now?
We're going to start the sauce. We're going to add our bacon.
All right, Chef, we are coming up to our final minute. So
oh boy,
let's
okay.
Let you,
let's go with
skip ahead and plate a little for us.
Let's go a little quick here. We're going to go with a little bit of the boursin grits on top.
All righty.
I'll let you go crazy with some of the sauce if you want to put a couple spots there. I'm going to go with some tomatoes,
very artistic,
crab meat.
Oh, this is looking good.
Then we're going to deglaze that with white wine, and we're going to add a little bit of our avocado butter to bring it all together.
Linda did such a great job on that. So as you're finishing up, I'm going to start to dig into the bread skewer. I hope you don't mind.
No,
I don't want to
please
spoil
do.
my dinner. But we want to let you know that you can visit Chef Dominic at Overture at Art Ovation Hotel. Great meals and very much involved in the art scene, which is wonderful. Pam, great to have you. Big congratulations on your 30th year.
I know. We have the finals for
We're
our
looking
open
forward
mic competition
to
Tuesday.
celebrating with you soon. All right, take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast view.
Yay!
All right, cheers.